Button Books fans? This is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends retro carded Venom. And I think my quest to find the perfect Venom figure has come to an end. This looks to have it all, and I can't wait to jump into this thing. Now, Venom has been one of my favorite characters since the 90s, and I've looked, and the last three Venom figures didn't really appeal to me. I think the last three that came out were the 2-pack, and he had the wings. That would have been okay, except when you turn him around, there was holes in his back, and they had the Walmart exclusive movie version, which is okay, but I'm definitely looking for a more comic book accurate Venom. And then the last Venom I think that came out was the animated series Venom, and that was close, but the red and blue highlights drove me crazy, and that eye thing, I hated when Venom came to the Spider-Man cartoon because that eye, why did they give him a pupil? But anyway, that's just one of my issues. So let's go ahead and jump into this awesome looking figure. Now, as you can see, it is on a retro carded Spider-Man the animated series blister card, which is really cool. You got Marvel Comics here, 4+, the Spider-Man animated series logo there. You have Sinister Symbiote and Venom jumping at you right there. Warnings! You see Venom in the box right here, surrounded by his accessories, and there is an awesome celebrating Marvel's 85th anniversary sticker on there. At the bottom, you got Hasbro, and coming around to the back of the card, you have just a few things. You have the Marvel logo here, Marvel logo there, Spider-Man logo there. You have what he can do. You have that same picture of Venom. And scrolling in, you do get a little bit of read-up on Venom, and you could pause the video, read that to your heart's content, but we must be going downward to see these awesome credits for the box and a barcode, and that is it, and that is interesting. That is going to be the package, but no one wants to see the package. I know you don't, so let's get him out and see how slick this guy really is. And here we have Venom out of the packaging. Now the packaging, he stands approximately 7 inches tall. He comes with an alternate head and alternate hands, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. But first off, I want to take a look at this creepy fellow himself. And coming in real close on the Venom head sculpt. Now, I did switch out to the alternate head sculpt with the closed mouth because I thought that would just be easier to navigate around with while we're showing him off. So, first off, his head is really nicely done. You do get a little bit of molded detail here for the ridges between his eyes. The eyes are painted white, glossy, and they are really nice. They just go up here and curve up a little bit at the top. He does have a huge teethy smile, and that is just scary as all. You do have a little bit of red for the gums, and most of the teeth are kind of a off-white, so they're not exactly white. And there is maybe just a little bit of paint transference from the gums to the teeth in certain areas, but I think that makes it look even creepier because who knows if that is really gum or it could just be blood from his latest victim. Ha! All right, coming around to the back of his head, it's just basically glossy black. Nothing there, nothing that you wouldn't expect. So that is cool. Coming back down, let us zoom out so we could see the figure in torso mode. So getting a better look at his complete torso, you can see it's all black, except he does have his white spider logo right here, and it's huge, and it should be. I love how this thing looks. You got your points up here, and the points on the head of the spider, and then coming down to the points right here at the bottom of the spider. That is just awesome. And the spider legs go all the way across and under the arm to the back, and the spider on the back is the same motif, and that is just beautiful. It's really nicely done. You even got the paint into the butterfly joint here, so if you move the joint in and out, the paint isn't going to be broken up too bad, but it does look a little strange if you extend certain things, but that's just going to be what you have to deal with when you have paint detail in the joints. I'd much rather have the paint detail in the joints than not have it, and then you have this big gap in the figure paint, but that's just me. And the only other paint detail we have is going to be on the hands, and you have the white sections on both hands, and that is really cool. The rest of the figure, glossy black, and he has a lot of molded detail in here, and the muscles of the legs and the feet are really nice. And you know, coming to the bottom, you do get some copyright material on the feet and some peg holes if you want to post him anywhere. And on the back, nothing again that you wouldn't expect. So yeah, very simple design. I loved the Venom design. It was basically, well, it was the Black Spider-Man costume, and that was cool too. So anyway, that is what your Venom is going to look like. Moving on. And for articulation, now this is an area where this figure is going to shine. Like all Spider-Man family characters, they have a lot of articulation because they are very agile. So, starting with Venom's head, the head can go around 360 degrees. It can tilt down a little bit. It can tilt up just a hair. You do get a little wiggly waggly in the sides. That is pretty cool. Coming to the shoulders, shoulders can come up from the body and then back down. They can go around 360 degrees, and you have that awesome little butterfly joint that will move the shoulder in and out to a long way. So that is really cool. You do have a bicep rotation, 360 degrees there, coming down to a double hinged elbow joint, which is really good. A lot of good motion. There is no forearm rotation, but that will bring us down to the hand, and the hand can go around 360 degrees. This particular hand is hinged, so it can hinge in, it can hinge out, it can hinge up, and it can hinge down depending on where you have it set. And that is cool. Coming to the center of the body, you have a diaphragm rotation right here, 360 degrees. You get some wiggle left, wiggle right, back, up, forward. A lot of cool stuff in the diaphragm wiggle there. Coming down, you do have an ab crunch hinge right here, and it's really cool because you can't really see it, but it is there, and Venom can keel over forward and keel over back just a little bit, and that is really cool. So that will bring you to the legs, and the legs can kick up a long way. That's pretty good. They can't go back because the butt gets in the way, and out to the side is kind of limited too, but you do get a little bit there. You do have 360 degrees of thigh rotation, coming down to a double hinged knee bend, and that is a lot of good range there. There is no boot cut, so that will bring us down to the foot, and the foot is hinged up and down, and it rocks around the world 360 degrees. So yeah, that is pretty cool for rotation, and Venom has a lot of it for being such a big fellow. I love that, and he needs to have that. Now, there have been some reports that the legs are loose and stuff like that, and the thighs. Right now, mine feels pretty tight. I haven't played around with it a lot, but in time that may change and the joints may get looser, which is something that you really have to anticipate because unfortunately that's the downside of articulation. You want the figure to be able to move and stuff like that and put all these joints in there, but when you do, that kind of lends to them becoming loose. That's just how it goes. And that has been Venom's articulation. Moving on. And for accessories, Venom comes with this creepy alternate head. Now, it's really nicely done, the black and the white for the eyes, and you have his teeth all sharp and the gum line. But what really sets this thing apart is the 3.5-inch tongue sticking out of it, and that is really cool and creepy at the same time. And the tongue is a soft plastic, and it's malleable, and you can move it around if you're so inclined, wrap it around other characters' heads to creep them out or eat them. I don't know, but yeah, this is an awesome head sculpt for Venom, and he comes packaged with this. Like I said before, we did take it off to show him, but I definitely think the inbox collectors would appreciate that he has his tongue sticking out. So that's Venom's alternate head. And Venom's final accessories are these alternate fisted hands, and definitely need some fisted hands if you're a comic book character, because I'm sure you're going to be doing some punching at some point in your life. And they're glossy black, and you got the white section, so that is really cool. All right, and that is going to be Venom's accessories. Moving on. And full comparison, here you have Venom with Spinneret and Spider-Man 2-pack, the original Marvel Legend retro carded Spider-Man, and the Across the Spider-Verse Spider-Man 2099. And as you can see, Venom has got about 2 inches over all of them, and that is pretty cool. He is a big, imposing figure, and I think he should be, and I love that. All right, and that is going to be your comparisons. Moving on. And this has been the Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends retro carded Venom. And this figure was awesome. There is nothing bad I can say about this figure. He is a very basic figure. He doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but Venom didn't need a lot of accessory. His mold and sculpt are great. His paint apps are crisp and clean. And because of Venom's design, there wasn't a lot to have to deal with. The molded head was awesome. The tongue sticking out is creepy as all get out, but it works. I love it. And then you just have the alternate fisted hands, which every character needs. So not a lot of stuff went into this guy, but he brings so much in representation to a character that I've loved for years. And if you really want to get into the makeup of the figure, yes, I'm sure there's reused parts here. I know that head is reuse, but this is basically taking the best of other Venoms and combining them into one ultimate Venom. And like I said, he is a fabulous representation. And I don't think I'm going to need any more Venoms for my collection. I think this is one and done. Now, if you're looking for Venom, he is a Walmart exclusive. He was up for pre-order a few months ago on the Walmart website, which is where I snagged him from, but he's not available there now at a standard price. You can go and find him on the Walmart site, but he's going to cost like twice as much as he did when he was being pre-ordered. So best bet is to look for this guy in the store on the shelves at your local Walmarts. You may be able to find him there for $25 to $30. And if you find him, highly recommend snatching him up. He is an awesome figure. All right, guys, that is it. That is the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Before I go, a lot of people have been leaving comments about when I do comic book characters and they enjoy the comic books in the background of the scenery. So if you are interested in these awesome comic books, stay tuned to after the end card and we'll talk a little bit about them. But anyway, that's it, guys. That's your Venom figure. Have a great night, and until next time, keep playing. And welcome back, Bots and Books fans. Now, as you can tell from the title of the channel, Bots and Books, I've always loved comic books. Now, I don't do a lot of comic book reviews or anything like that on this channel. I think I've read one comic story, and we'll talk about comic books a little bit when I review comic book figures. But for the most part, when I do a comic book specific figure, I love to put the comic books featuring that character in the background. I think it adds a little more to the review, and I think people enjoy seeing them. Now, when it comes to Venom here, I have 3 particular comic books, and these are going to be from the 90s, back when Venom was getting really popular. Now, he started off as a villain for Spider-Man, obviously, but over time, Venom became one of those cool villains that everyone liked, and so they switched him to a good guy and gave him his own series. Now, this is a run from the 90s, and this is from The Amazing Spider-Man number 375. And this was a storyline where Peter Parker's parents were back, and Venom was back, and they were fighting like they usually do. And Venom was about to get his own series because he had become such a popular character. Now, the funny thing about this is, when Venom 1 came out, this was February, and I got this from the comic shop, and I got the artist, Mark Bagley, to sign it for me. See, that's really neat, because Mark Bagley is one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. Now, you may remember him. He did a huge run on The Amazing Spider-Man. He did a huge run, if not every one of the Ultimate Spider-Man, the original Ultimate Spider-Mans, and he did the Venom Lethal Protector series. He's done tons of stuff. Again, one of my favorite artists, and he was able to sign Venom 1 for me. But that being said, Venom 1 was supposed to be the aftermath of the Amazing Spider-Man 375 here. But for some reason, during the run, Venom 1 got put out first. So as you can see, it says number 1, February. Then this was March. And it's interesting because when you're reading Venom number 1, there's a little panel in there that talks about how Peter and Venom ended their confrontation in this comic book. And it says, this is going to be on sale soon, so look for that. Which is kind of depressing because once you've read this, you already know the ending to this. So I don't know why they decided to put that out the way they did. But it was an interesting choice, and this was a great story, and I love these two comics. And finally, you have Venom number 1, The Enemy Within. There wasn't anything particularly cool about this storyline. I mean, it was a good story, don't get me wrong. When Venom came out, instead of giving him a full unlimited run, they just killed you with mini-series. So every other month, you would have like a Venom number 1, and a 1 of 6, 1 of 4, 1 of 3, 1 of 2. It just went on and on. They just never gave him a unlimited series in the 90s. But the reason I brought this one out was because I think for aesthetic reason, it just looks cool. And back in the 90s, they always did some special covers. And when it comes to this one, I think it's really cool because they had a neat little glow in the dark gimmick. And if we turn off the lights, we can see, wow, that still works even after all these years. That is really cool and creepy. How would you like to wake up with this in your face? All right. Oop, I knocked something over. Let's get the lights back on. I can't see. But anyway, guys, that is the comic books. And if you are interested in the comic books that I have in the box, I will do a little segment on them each time that we do a comic book character. I think that will be some fun. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for staying with me and learning a little bit about these awesome comics, and I will catch you next time.